Recruiter here, the headless headhunter, to review your resumes to get you ahead of your job search. The resume we have up first is a full stack software engineer. I swear I do other resumes beyond tech. There was like 8 full stack software engineers in a row that sent to me, but I do every type of resume. If you send it, I will review it. That is the rule. What we're looking for in a full stack software engineer is TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, MongoDB, SQL, React.js, API, REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and bonus points for architecture, external language, and Git. This person gave me no information beyond that they are a full-stack software engineer. So, let's see if I can find this stuff, which, spoiler alert, I was not able to. So, because I did a meter read of this. The problem with this is I found JavaScript, which is good. And I found UX, which is a bonus, but not necessary. And then the only other things I found were all the way down here in SQL and Node and React, which is good. The problem is you need 75% of these. I can't move you forward if you only have, I don't know what percent it is, like 30? Someone can do math. I'm not a math person. I am a recruiter. We don't math unless it's commission. So the problem here, and I want to, because I just did a whole video on a bunch of full stack software engineers, is I want to tell a very important thing to everybody. This is not just a full stack software engineer issue. This is an accountant issue. This is a marketing manager issue. This is an art person. Every single industry except for nursing, and even then this can't apply for nursing. There is a rule. The number one resume rule beyond make sure your contact information is correct. So beyond that rule, there is another rule. And this is the most important one. I want you all to look at. I want you to look at this. Look me in the eye. All right. I'm looking in the eye. All right. I want you all to remember this. If it's not in your resume, it does not exist. This is the rule that is clear. It's like, well, what if it's implied? No. You can never imply. Assume I have the knowledge of a snail. You can never imply that X equals Y. If it's not on your resume, doesn't exist. And a lot of people right now will be looking at this and be like, well, it's clear that X and Y doesn't matter. If it's not on your resume, it doesn't exist. If you're an accountant and you don't put Excel, I can't move you forward unless you have a CPA, in which case you're golden because the CPA is giving you everything you need. But if you don't put Excel, you can't get it. And I know this. This was when I first started, I was placing accountants and the market wasn't hot back then. And you know what the main thing I did to get them a job? My main number one recruiting technique is I made them put Excel on their resume if they used it. Spoiler alert, not all of them had it. Most of them did. They didn't put it in, but not all of them had it. That was it. That was my one trick. I'm trying to teach you that singular trick. If you build your resume with the assumption that if it's not on there, it doesn't exist, you will succeed. That is the number one rule. So yeah, I don't care that if it's implied that X equals Y. Doesn't matter, can't move you forward. If I do, I could get fired. If I started moving people forward because it's implied, I would get let go. It's not how that works. I can't. It can never be implied. It has to be with your chest. You have to slap me in the face with how obvious it is under a bullet point or under a bullet point in a previous job, project, or internship. That's it. It does not count for skills sections or in the education section. That is why I harp on this. So I don't care if it's implied. You can't move forward. That's the fundamental tenet of recruiting. You cannot move them forward unless it's explicitly there, unless the manager gives you specific permission for a very specific thing, which does not happen often. So that is the rule, and that is why this resume fails. So yes, you have JavaScript, that's good. You have UX, which is a bonus point. You have SQL and Node.js, but you don't have HTML and CSS. You also don't have TypeScript. Actually, is there TypeScript here that I missed? No. You also don't have TypeScript or Python, which is common. Do you have Java anyway? I actually don't see the back end. So yeah, it's all the way down at the bottom. That doesn't count. So it has to be here. Also, fix your formatting. This is the format you want. It's on my website. It's free. Please use it. So again, to everybody, not just software engineers. I don't care if you cured world hunger. If you don't put how you did it on your resume with the basic tools, I'm going to assume you didn't do it and you did it psychically with your mind. So if it's not on your resume, it doesn't exist. I want everybody to repeat that. That is the most important thing I can teach above all else, besides making sure your contact information is correct. If it's not on your resume, it doesn't exist. So I don't care that React implies X. I don't care that if you did X, it implies you have Excel. I physically can't move you forward without getting fired. That's the rule. I don't care how foolish you think it is. I don't care of your opinion on it. This is the rule you need to know. So yeah, this definitely fails because you don't show it. You don't show HTML and CSS. And in addition, you also don't show your backend language, which is kind of interesting to me. Usually people don't do that, but yeah, I don't see your backend. So, and your formatting's off. Nothing here should be bolded. And yeah, so it's not a good resume. This is why you're having trouble. Is if it's not on your resume, it doesn't exist. That's the main rule. So before we go to the next resume, I just want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You can argue with me in the comments or ask me questions. I will respond. It usually takes me a day or two because I'm busy doing the recruiting stuff. But I will do that. And if you ever need more help, you can join me on my Twitch live stream. That's where I get these qualifications, which again, these are not keywords. They are qualifications. They're a massive difference. At twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, starting at 11 and PST until whatever. So now let's go to the next, not a tech resume. This is a growth marketing manager, and I told y'all I do other stuff besides tech. It's just most of what people send is tech. So for a growth marketing manager, what we're going to be looking for, again, don't panic that they don't have all of this. We're looking for about 75% of this. So I need to see about 75% of this. As long as you meet 75%, you will probably be moved forward. So A/B testing, KPIs, SEO, SQL, anything with ads. So TikTok ad, YouTube ads, LinkedIn ads, email ads, ads galore. Data analytics platforms, anything such as Tableau, whatever, Google Analytics, Power BI, and we do want Excel. So again, I need anything from there and Excel. I don't need all of these. You don't have to list everyone, just one or two from that list. And then the platform. So in this case, would it be like TikTok, Google, print media, billboards? You know, I need to know what kind of industries ads you've been targeting, what the platform the ads were on. Then I need Salesforce and HubSpot. Those were on a lot. B2B or B2C, along with SaaS, so SaaS. And I don't know what CAC is or LTV is, but I actually saw those in a good chunk of these roles. So they are important. I don't know what they are, but they are important. And that you can work cross-functionally and influence teams or stakeholders. So again, you don't need to panic that you don't have all of these. I'm looking for 75% of those, or at least one from each of those categories. So this person has a ratio of unknown. Their role was eliminated, which stinks. They said they've only had 2 months in that role. So I will say, if you've only had 2 months in a role, it's not worth it to put it on. Unless you've been at it for more than 3 months or 4 months, it's not worth it on your resume. The exception is interns. Interns are expected to be for about 3 months, but everybody else, you don't really want to put it on there if it's only been 3 months in most cases. So I don't need this. Stop with this, please. Please stop with the summaries. The summaries are making it so hard to find what I need. Strategic B2B, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't care. Nothing there is needed. This can be safely deleted. Again, nothing here counts. I remember, the rule is if it's not on your resume, it doesn't exist, except what it needs to be is in the corollary to that is it also has to be under a job, an internship, or a project. If you list it in a skills section or whatever a summary is, it doesn't count. I cannot use that information to move you forward. I wish I could. If I could, I would be so happy, but I can't, because when I was a baby recruiter, I did that, and lo and behold, the managers kept sending them back, or when they interviewed them, they didn't have the right experience. So you need to show it under a job. So this can be safely deleted. Then we go down to here, which again, you need to fix your formatting to make it look like this. So let's actually see. Total brands, generating revenue. Again, I'm not looking for revenue. In fact, I don't know if I saw anything about revenue in any of those ads. the job postings. Like, maybe they would ask for proven success and that you met your KPIs, but they weren't asking for how much money you necessarily made. I think it's an okay thing to include because when you're hiring at this level, you want to know their budget, but the rest of this has nothing in it. So let's go to the next bullet point. Forecasting. I don't care about that. Collaborative cross-functionally. Good. Don't care about the rest of it. Develop prototype pricing. Again, I don't care about that. All right. So, you do have months here. Got it. Okay, I see what happened there. Oh, okay. This you can include. This is fine to include. I understand what's going on with this. Manage a team of aligned cross-functional accuracy. Again, I don't... Key reporting and concerning engagement, on-time performance. This is okay. You don't tell me anything. Again, I'm looking for this stuff. And you know, there's always a possibility that I have gotten the wrong marketing role because marketing is notoriously difficult for having, like I said, multiple job titles for the same job or the same job title for multiple jobs. But they weren't looking for improved forecasting accuracy or reporting on key account metrics. They did like on-time performance and meeting your metrics. But that's not necessary. Meeting does not mean reporting on. Process optimization, no. VOC, customer counsel, no. Your resume doesn't really have anything I'm looking for if I'm in the right place. Like, I don't know. You told me growth marketing manager. It's possible an account leader is a different role, but if you're trying to go into a growth marketing manager, I need these. Again, I don't need all of them. I just need about one from each line, or about 75%. Normally it's 75%, but in this case, they're one from each line. And I don't see any of that. Where's your data analytics platform? Where is your SEO? Where's your SQL? What kind of ads and stuff did you do? I don't know if you've used TikTok. I don't know if you've done this through print media. You could have been outside with a billboard, with a sign spinner. I don't know. You did not tell me. I don't know the industry. I don't know if you use Salesforce or HubSpot. I don't know if this is B2B or B2C, because remember, it doesn't count. If it's up here, it does not count. Everything there is junk. I don't know if this was an SaaS. I do not know if you use CIC or LTV, because again, I don't know what those are, but they were important. I do know that you've done cross-functional, but yeah, you don't have anything here. So maybe these are the right skills for an account leader or an account product manager. But remember, you have to give me specific. I am looking these up on my stream live. I don't know every industry by heart. I know how to find it for every industry. I don't know them all by heart. But yeah, there's basically nothing here. Like, yeah, this is okay. Like, again, I'm glad that you say what your account portfolio is, but if you look at the roles, I mean, really look at the growth product, the growth marketing manager roles, they're saying this is the qualifications. They're not saying 105 in revenue or margins by 3% or prototype pricing. They're just stating this. This is what they're looking for. So I can't really do anything with this because there's nothing here. This whole resume might as well be blank. Unless it works for an account leader, which again, I don't know because I didn't look for the qualifications for an account leader. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a battery scientist or engineer, kind of. I actually couldn't find battery scientist or battery engineer. I found research and development scientist or research scientist. I think those are close enough. They may not be. I do know this because I used to work for Agilent. They were a great company to work for, still are a great company to work for. I give them huge props. I have nothing but nice things to say about them. So this is the stuff I actually used to recruit for them. One of the things. I did a lot of roles, but this was one of them. So what we're looking for in a scientist role is degree. And your industry, this is going to really matter. So in this case, biomed, aerospace, car manufacturing, you know, what is the overarching industry that you're working in? And then this is where it gets a little tricky, is what the knowledge of the topic itself. So in this case, it could be like microbiology, immunology, biochemistry, battery scientist in this case, because again, I don't think this is a medical thing that they said battery. Excuse me. So maybe electrical batteries, that kind of stuff. This is a overarching thing of what you do. So it goes the industry, and then it goes like, you know, in that industry, what are you doing? So maybe battery management or something. And then the basic tool use. So this is going to depend on the industry as well. In the case of like scientist roles, they're going to want for like spectrometry, or for Agilent, it was mass spectrometry. That was a big thing. It's going to depend on what this one is. Again, I don't know the battery ones, but I'm going to assume I know what a tool will look like when I see it. And Microsoft Office, Excel, Outlook, Word. Yes, you need to put this in. Except for software engineers, almost every single role should have Excel, Word, and Outlook. Along with documentation skills, cross-functional, and lab experience, and testing. They want to know that you've done testing in labs. So, I hope this is the right one, and this is close enough to a battery scientist. They've included a career summary. Boo! Because I worked at a research startup that does totally different things than my intended career path. Okay, that actually is, depending on how you wrote that might actually be the right thing to do. I may take that is a tentative boo, I take it back. And I wanted to communicate my qualifications in the top half of the page. Good. According to the job description, keywords and skills that I found, this is one of the 4 resumes I'm optimizing for. Other roles I'm interested in are process engineering and sales field application engineer. Okay, so the first role, oh, wow, okay. All right, so 8 years of cross-functional R&D experience with master's degree, especially in Group 4. So what is different about this? You said this is not what you're looking for? Totally different things. Bachelor's in RF production, fabrication, medical structure, cooling systems. Okay. So I'm going on the assumption, again, that this is not related to your career path, in which case that's okay. The problem, though, is this isn't what I'd be looking for, right? Like, again, Group 14 lithium-ion anodes are probably too specific. You need to zoom out. When you're reviewing these scientist resumes, and again, I've had a lot of experience with this, part of the problem is they're so technical that they miss the overarching things that the manager is looking for. And in this case, again, I may not be looking for lithium-ion anodes. In fact, let me look that up real quick. Because again, I feel like some people think these are actual roles I'm recruiting for, and it's not. I have to look these all up ahead of time. Lithium-ion batteries are electrification and components define a battery's performance. So in this case, you may not want to put Group 14 lithium-ion anodes. You may want to put, I would say, batteries. They may not know those are even batteries. You may want to put specializing in batteries, such as X and Y. Second, this needs months. You need months in your dates. With the exception of projects and education, if a date doesn't have a month, it's real bad. So you need months here. Same with here. Same with here. You need the months. All right. Experience with, again. This is really confusing for me to read because I don't know enough. Like, I don't know. So half fuel again. You stated that you're a battery scientist. I'm gonna besides this, which I think I just misspelled battery. How many times does battery show up in your resume? Why did it not copy paste? It's not it's battery. Okay, cool. Give me a second. Am I BATTERY? Why is this not working? Why is this not? Okay, we're trying this again. I do this live. BA. Why is this? Oh, wow. This is interesting. So, besides here, unless my quick Control F is missing, you don't state batteries anywhere. And that's kind of a problem. Now, let's see. Using metal evaporation. So, photolithography might actually be something they're looking for. But it also might be too specific. So, what they might look for is instead of high-resolution lithography, they might be looking for instead ultraviolet EUV machines. So remember, you might be a little too specific. This was the main problem with a lot of scientist resumes, is they go way too deep. Here, okay, so it's used in the process of manufacturing integrated circuits. Maybe you should say integrated circuit tools such as photolithography. I cannot pronounce that even. So again, it's really tough without being able to find the exact role because this is very niche. And again, this part is confusing me. I know you stated it's not relevant, but like, it's kind of tough. So I guess you're going back to it. This is a part that's really throwing me. But again, proficiency in this stuff should still be here. Unless you haven't really done it since college, in which case that could be a problem. But yeah, so I would ask that you come out of the channel, because again, this is like one of my specialties that I'm very good at doing and have made a lot of placements in. I need to know a little bit more, but I don't know what that is. I do know CAD is probably going to be one of them. I don't think this is going to be one of them, but high pressure hydrothermal maybe, or nanoparticles might be. So come on the channel. I will try and help you out here, but the biggest issue is this is confusing to me. So I understand this may not be related to this, in which case we have a bit of a problem. Because they're going to see that you've only done this for 2 years and you've done this for 6. So I'm going to at least need you to put out the rest of this stuff here. We can't have this entire thing be almost blank. You will need to, if you are switching back to what it is, probably close to about 65% of what I need here. So maybe I don't have the battery stuff, but I should have the industry. I should have maybe 1 or 2 basic tool uses. I should have Word and Excel. I should have cross-functional lab experience and testing. So this is going to be a real issue, and I don't know how to help you because I don't know enough about you for this. But yeah, this is a bit of the problem. Also, this is too technical. What is this? 40% to 97%? General chemistry, 5 semesters. Yeah. Also, oh god, your education should be at the top. This should be all at the top. So are you a chemical? I don't understand it. This is my problem, is I don't understand what you're going for this resume, even though you've stated you're a battery engineer. I don't see anything about batteries. Again, I have not recruited for a battery engineer. I've done on the biomed side. So I've not recruited for a battery engineer before. I have recruited for other R&D scientists, but I don't know what you do. I think you do cooling systems. And again, I don't see anything about battery. Doesn't count. Can't be here. Cannot be here. Troubleshooting and optimization. Again, where is your lab stuff? Because it looks real sus if you have this here and not here. Now, what you can do is shrink this to maybe 1 or 2 bullet points. But that's going to be a real tough switch. So I wish I could help you more, but this is about how much I can do. But again, you need to show batteries. I don't see any batteries here. Again, this is the only thing that says battery on your resume. You gotta do basic for stuff, because not even the recruiter, the hiring manager may want it basic. And if the hiring manager is good, they may not know these new terms. They may have called these something else. The slang has changed. So this is why I'm a good recruiter, is I connect the slang between the generations, or in the same generation sometimes. But this doesn't work because I don't even see anything about batteries. I don't see anything about battery tools except maybe this and nanoparticles. The rest of this is, I don't even know the industry for this. What is the industry for this? I don't know. I don't know what you do, and you did not tell me, and that is why this resume definitely fails. So as a person that has done R&D scientist positions, even if it is not battery scientists, specifically, I don't think this passes specifically because it is too broad, and sorry, not too broad, too specific. You need to broaden it out. Remember, these people are not, we don't have your degrees. It could be that the person hiring is somebody that does not know anything about this, and they need to hire somebody to be the subject matter expert. So back up. CAD is good. Excel, Word is good, but again, I need it somewhere here. But this is way too specific of what it is. Even here, and I'm even counting on this one, like custom pre-lithium formation techniques. I'm probably not looking at that. Slurry making materials, Arbine, CV, variable CV testing. That's not what they're looking for. Look at the roles. They're not looking for that. Unless I missed it. They're looking for this. Basic tool use. Basic. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a AI engineer. This person has said they've been getting a lot of denials due to visa complications. Yeah, unfortunately, I wish I could give you more advice on that, but the visa is going to give you a lot of denials. I also just changed my resume to this format. So we don't know what the previous resume looked like. We don't know what their ratio was. But what we are looking for in an AI engineer, this person said software engineer / AI engineer. No, those are two separate jobs. It's AI engineer resume, and then you can make a software engineer resume that is further broken down. But if you make an AI engineer software developer resume, you are probably going to get rejected because the qualifications are going to be different. So what we're looking for is AI, ML, LLM, NLP, probably ChatGPT as well. Python, R, MATLAB, LangChain, SkibbityLearn, Cloud, TensorFlow, PyTorch, SDLC, CI/CD, DevOps, Hadoop, Spark, or Kafka. That is what we're going to be looking for. Can I find that in 20 seconds? It's time for a mini meter yeet. Let's find out. All right, bachelor's is good. Python good. AI good. AI good. LLM's good. PyTorch good. TensorFlow. AI SQL, actually don't really care about as much. So yeah, probably a pass. Barely though. Because remember, I need about 75%, and I feel like I found like 65%. So I found SkibbityLearn, which is good. PyTorch wasn't there, but PyTorch was good. Wait, did I find SkibbityLearn? No, I found PyTorch and TensorFlow. I did not find Cloud. I did find AI. I did find Python. So I think you're missing Cloud. And maybe like LangChain or SkibbityLearn. Yeah, so basically you're missing Cloud and MATLAB or R or LangChain or SkibbityLearn, along with SDLC and CI/CD and DevOps. So again, you had about, I'm going to lower actually, you had about 40 to 50% of what I'm looking for. You need to add a little bit more. So what you need to do, so not just the citizen, this is also going to hurt your chances, but it's also, I didn't find what I'm looking for here. And this is why you don't mix it, because for a software engineer, I would care about SQL. For an AI engineer, don't care. So yes, tired. Let's see. What else can we do to fix this? So first, you need to explain. All right, so I've said you need a quick summary. It needs to be under this. That is true. But you need to explain how to work with your visa. The simple fact is they may be able to work with your visa, but they don't know, right? You have to show me or tell me how to work with your visa, because I've done H-1Bs and OPTs. I actually don't know if I've ever hired an F1. I had to look it up earlier today because another person was an F1. I don't think I've done one. And I would not know internally possibly how to do it because it's been like a while since I did the training on that. So I'd have to refresh my memory. But I don't know the process for the company. I know for the H-1B it costs an extra $10K and it's still a rough situation. For an OPT, it doesn't care as much about that. But I don't know how to work with a Canadian F1. The fact is, this could be a single form that the manager fills out and you're fine, or this could be a massive amount of paperwork. They're going to assume the later, even though we don't know. Because you're from Canada, it might be easier. I know it's easier for a T1 visa, but I don't know what it is for an F1 visa, F1 OPT in Arizona. Because again, sorry, the F1 OPT part also throws me, because usually it's one or the other, unless you're referring to just OPT. If it's just OPT, that you have to describe, because the actual OPT process is easier, but that then determines on if you're going to move forward with an H-1B. And because you're in Canada, there's a probably easier. So you need to describe to me. And again, this is just me going on my base knowledge, because it's been a while since I had to do this. We don't know. The amount of hires for a H-1B or OPT are pretty low in an overall company. You need to tell us how we can work with it. If it's an OPT, it's easier than an H-1B. Because you're Canadian, it might be even easier than anything else, but we don't know that. So you have to tell us. You have to have a very quick summary that says, as I am on an, all you have to do is sign 2 forms, cost $50 extra and OPT. That's it. You're gone. Doom, boom, dom, slam. We're good. So we're gonna move past it, because it was much knowledge as I can impart on that one. This can be formatted better. Again, you want to format it like this, and then you can have a dean's list below that. But a bigger issue is, even if you were a U.S. citizen, a green card holder, you only meet about 50% of the qualifications. So split this into an entire AI engineer resume, and remember, I need this stuff. So you do have the AI, you do have the Python, you have TensorFlow, you have PyTorch, and that's it? I feel like you had one other thing that I'm missing. Okay, I actually can't find it. That might have been it. You need the rest of the stuff. So yeah, it's okay if you don't have R because you have Python, but where's the MATLAB, the LangChain, or the skibidi-learn? One of those at least. Where's the cloud? Cloud is huge. Huge cloud. Where's the SDLC or the CI/CD? Where's the DevOps, the Hadoop, the Spark, the Kafka? I need this stuff. I cannot move you forward without enough of this. 75%. And especially because you are on a visa, you probably need 95%. That's actually the truth of it. So that's all I can do for this one. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of I don't know, it's a software engineer. But they didn't tell me what kind. And again, you need to tell me what kind of software engineer you are. This person has gotten nothing. They said they want to improve it, make it punchy and concise, and resonate with recruiters and hiring managers. You don't want to do that. I know this is going to sound weird, but like, we're not looking to stand out. You're looking to stand in. The best resumes are one where you go, okay, move you forward. Like, at no point am I ever like, yes, the golden resume. We're just like, okay, move. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Because typically those resumes were like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. They never pick up the phone. So the first thing I'm going to try to determine if I can tell what kind of software engineer this is. The second is, this font is bad. You should use my font. It's on my website. Please do that. There's a reason I have it. This is not good font. So can I find what kind of software engineer this is? And let's bring it up clock. 20 seconds. Let's go. Okay, so this might be C#. Full stack? What? This has like, okay, well, maybe C#. Nope, also has TypeScript. Okay, that's it. I don't, this might be C#, which admittedly I don't have the qualifications for. It's been a bit since I've done a C# one, but the problem is this also does everything, so it's also like full stack, and you don't tell me how to do this. Like, this doesn't work. You have to. So, oh gosh, there's so much wrong with this. I'm sorry. This person gotten like 150 plus, and this is the reason. There's so much wrong with this. So first off, okay, we're gonna start from the top. There's so much wrong with this. So the first thing is, this is okay. This is good. I actually do like this. I think this is good, and I wanted to give you congrats on this because that is good. The one thing I would add is, don't say planned, ready to move on offer. You should instead say moving to Northern Virginia, or whatever city this is in Northern Virginia, by X, can move earlier if needed. I would put that instead. That is a little bit clearer that you are going to move regardless, that you are not waiting on an offer to move. You are going to move regardless, and if you get an offer, you can move a little bit earlier. So that way they also know. So that is good. Still, that is a slight way to improve it. Second off, nothing here matters. This doesn't matter. You need to spend time on this. I have nothing here I need. It's just a bunch of weird random words. And I've recruited for this stuff before. You need to show, okay? So here is the fundamental part of a resume. Also, you should delete this. This looks bad when it's freelance and this. So here's the fundamental part, and this is the reason part of it. If you notice here, it says summary of your duties that a 5-year-old can understand in a couple of keywords. Qualifications, keywords, whatever. You need that. Second off is, you need to show how it was used and the reason and result it was used. This is equivalent to a skills section, which is why I can't do anything with it. So you need to delete this, and we're going to start again. I would recommend you come on the stream, because there was a couple of other stuff in there that I could probably help with. But the bigger issue here is, I think you're C#, but you're also JavaScript and TypeScript and full stack. So I'm a little confused on where you lay on this. Maybe it's a C# full stack dev. Usually it's Python instead, or maybe Java. It's rare that I ever see this, but what you need to do is you need to write how you use this and the reason or result. And the problem is if you don't write how you use this or the reason or result, it's worthless. This might as well not be in your resume. This gives me nothing. This is why you have 150. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying you need to tell how you used it specifically and the reason and result you used it. So please stop by. I can maybe help you out and give you tips on it. But this doesn't work. This tells me nothing, right? In addition, you need months here. This is actually pretty solid. I don't have that. Then election cycle, that's fine. So yeah, you need that. And I'm not going to harp on stuff down here because that's okay. Because again, what they're really looking for is going to be in this one for full stack, I think. So, but you can't just write all the keywords out there. These are the qualifications, and the qualifications need to say how and the reason and result. So stop by my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. till whenever at twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. I will help you out. This is all I can do for this video because there's basically nothing in here. This is not what I'm looking for. I need to say used Python, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and TypeScript to create a front end, to create a full stack website for Headless Headhunter or whatever, and then used AWS to do X and Y. This doesn't work. So stop by the live stream. I will help you out, and that's all I can do for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It does help me out. Ask any questions below. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge. Again, I am a US-based recruiter. Sometimes my information does not translate outside the US, but I'm here to help you all get ahead of your job search.